In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at a few tips and tricks that may help students. So the first one here is logging on to Methacton's website, which you can always select right in here. The My MSD has the star, and students can log in right here. So it's a quick, easy way to go ahead in and sign in. However, something to point out is here's the Launchpad. You can see that right in here, that moving forward, the applications below are now going to become available in Class Link, which is this right here. So if we go ahead in and select that, students will need to go ahead in and sign in again. So we're going to sign in, and the Launchpad will come up. So something I would recommend is to go ahead and bookmark this. So students could go ahead in, and they could just select right over here and say bookmark this tab, or use Control D. They can rename it right away. So if they just want to call it Launchpad, they can do that. Of course, it can always be changed later on as well. You can see it's just Launchpad. If they know that that is the Launchpad, you can always right click, edit. You don't have to have a name on there. If you know that that's a Launchpad right there, you can have a number of these bookmarks up here. Another one I'd recommend is quickly having Gmail available. It's something to make sure that students go ahead in and check, I would say pretty much every day, to see what is going on and what is going to be asked of them. So if they go ahead, they can also drag this down. You can right click, edit, and if they know that's Gmail, they can remove all that and select save, and then they can select right in here. Now, another thing with bookmarks, if they'd like to, they can right click in here, and then what they could do is they could go ahead in and they could add a folder. So if they wanted to call it, let's just say school for right now, we could call this school, and then they could drag certain bookmarks over if they'd like to and drop it in, and you can see it's right here. Of course, you can always move it back out if you'd like to, and right click, rename, delete, so on and so forth. So something to know. Now, something that happens a lot is sometimes tabs get closed. So let's say we close that one and we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to close those out. I want that back. So how can you do that? You can hold down Control, Shift, T, and it brings back that previous tab. Let's do this one as well. So it brings it back right away. So it's ready for you. So that's a nice thing to have. Now, another one to show you is right over in here. It's the 3 dots. This is how you can customize and control Google Chrome. So you may be asked sometimes to go ahead in and open up a new tab. You can see these shortcuts come over here as well. There's also the history, downloads, bookmarks. You can zoom in or out. You can print. You can also go into settings. So if you're ever asked to go into settings, just go into the 3 dots, go into settings, and then you can scroll down and see the options that are available. Of course, you can just close out of it right here as well. Another quick one is if a student knows that they, or if anyone knows and they're logged into Google, that they'd like to start a new document. Instead of going into, of course, they could always go into Google Drive. And when they go into Google Drive, you can just select New. And then you have your options here for Docs, Sheets, Slides. Something to come up here. There's also more. There's Google Forms and drawings and so on and so forth, Google Sites. However, if you know you want to start a new doc right away and you're not in Google Drive, what you can do is you can just type in doc.new. And right away, a new document comes up. Just be sure to name it. So if I was going to say, sample, this is always something nice to know, is it will take your first sentence or first few words. If you click up here, it just names it according to that right there. Items like this will come up. Once you understand it, you can just select got it, and there you go. So that's a nice one to have. Another one, just to point out, just as a reminder, and let's go into Launchpad again, is with Google Classroom. Can't say this enough about going in and making sure to check email just to see what assignments are coming up. However, going into Google Classroom, it's nice to see what any announcements, anything that's due. For example, I can see right away that something's due right here. I can also go ahead in and I can select the classwork. And when I select classwork, I can see items that have been posted. I can see the topics over here as well. But the main one I want to point out right in here is view your work. So if I select view your work, you can see items that have been assigned, items that have been turned in, and items that are missing. So of course you can always go ahead in and see them and view any details that are needed. But that is really an important one to point out, is going ahead in classwork, view your work. So there you go. Those are just a few tips and tricks just to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped. Take care. Bye-bye.